Hey Sam, how's it going?
It's going okay. Jerzy, how are you?
I'm okay. This is our most fraught episode thus far.
Yes.
Of Week Didn't Start, where we take the news and recontextualize it in the immortal form of Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire. The structure of the lyrics. And yeah, this is our fifth time in. It might sound a little different today because of we're also recording midweek of week 6, so this shit feels like it happened.
Just showing how the sausage is made.
10 years ago.
Yes, true.
But we're going to dig in, and so we'll start with our 3 questions, which are, what was it like? Did your relationship to like the song or the shape of the song change this week?
My relationship to the song didn't really change this week per se. I think after our conversations about the rhyme scheme last week, or maybe the week before, I was more conscious of it. And then I just got a little bit like, felt like above it. Because if you're just looking for a sound that rhymes, 3 times in succession, then you're not going to pick something. Well, maybe you will pick something obscure, but like there's a certain temptation to just go for the easy, you pick the one verse or line that feels really good, like it's well written, and then you just rhyme everything else to that. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying?
Like anchor beats. Yeah. I mean, this was from The Weeknd, but like there's a thing that Joe Biden said to a person after Iowa, like during run up to New Hampshire, that like fits perfectly in part of the couplet. And then I was like, what do you rhyme with that? So it's like a little bit reverse engineering, but that's just kind of what writing is, right?
Yes. And
then, the tweaking of it is, I found myself, I think particularly in my Tuesday verse, going a little less literal. My trap has been to get a little stuck in this is exactly what happened, and finding ways to summarize or kind of synthesize some of the items.
Yeah, I have 2 thoughts. Just to go back to whether or not my relationship to the song changed, there's this one moment in verse 1 where he says, Santa Ana goodbye. And I feel like that always felt so set in stone, like the cadence of it. And then when I was making the verse this week, I got so mad at that section because I was like, actually, the meter is dumb. Like, it's like ba da 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 da, but like I don't know, something about it. I was trying to fit a very good comedic piece of news into it, and I could not for the life of me make it sound good.
Yeah, I have up to this point, and I definitely did this week, defaulted to just like the standard kind of form for any of those couplet lines, and so if it is that Santa Ana goodbye, I will just do the one that ends with ba 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 ba. I've cheated that. But I think, again, we're 5 in. So we've done 10% of this already.
That's disgusting. The other thing I wanted to bring up was in relation to a project that we had kind of set out to do, which was attempt to put names in the news into the verse. I'm really proud of my first verse because I experimented with starting the week with names.
Oh, you know what? I haven't even seen. Oh, I see.
Totally fine. But like, I don't know whether I'm just getting better at synthesizing the news or there were names in the news that felt more like I expanded my notion of what names in the news kind of means, but it just felt so much easier. Like last week we thought, well, we can't just name, or we've talked about how we can't just name people that died, because that's not really what the names are.
The news is that they're no longer news.
Yes. Awful. But it was fun to experiment with the names. I'm excited to do more names.
Cool. I see that you did that. Yeah. And I also liked, as it relates to the song, but maybe this is moving into question 2 about, what are our 3 questions?
I don't know. I sometimes feel like I leak one in the other. Did my relationship to the song change? Did our relationship to the song change? How was the experience writing this week? And did you discover
and then the
anything?
news. And then your relationship to the news.
Oh, got
Just relationship to the song, relationship to the news, and then like what was this week like just doing this project? So, they bleed into each other. But like what was this week like doing this project? I did like the way that the thing that I pitched that we did, where I felt, this was our most on top of the news. Like I felt like we had the most news compiled over the week. But what we didn't have until very recently, like I love the idea of knowing what each of us is going to cover and then zippering it together sort of live on this show. I think that's fun because then we're not dealing with as many overlaps. We really didn't have that many overlaps, except for the weekends lines that we wrote that we'll kind of piece together.
The thing that I pitch that I like that we do now is including the links to the news articles in the Google Doc that we use to compile it.
I love it. And you know what I found? Because Google is everywhere, you can type out the keywords for a headline and do the hyperlink tool, and it will auto-suggest the articles.
Oh, I've got to look
That's
that up
why
afterwards.
all of mine were like nice and tight and aligned, because I could do the way that my workflow is. I'll find the stuff and then sort of make the list with the keywords that'll remind me of it, but then I can build it out.
I want to bring something up about the relationship to the news, or just what doing this might have done to our brains.
It's as if we're going into the third question.
Are we going into the third question? Incredible. This is not an accusation so much as a commentary about maybe what's happening.
Oh.
So there was this one article that you linked about a Turkish airline, the Pegasus Air, that split into 3 pieces, like the airline split in half. And you linked it with the phrase killing 155 on board.
Yeah.
The number was how many passengers were there, but they all survived. There were no deaths. Yeah. But it is funny to, like, I clicked on it going, like, not another piece of tragic news. And then when I read it, it said, like, 155 on board, airplane splits into 3, no casualties reported. And I was like, are we becoming so...
Fake news.
Well, not so much fake news as I think we're starting to... No, that's you.
Oh,
I
okay.
have a different one. We're starting to almost like automate the part of our brains that synthesizes the news. So we see a number, we see a news article, and we're like, well, that must be death. That must be this. I panic personally whenever I see a New York Times breaking news alert in my inbox. If it starts with someone's name, I'm like, they're dead. You know?
Yeah.
It starts with someone's name and a comma, because it's always like, this person who pioneered this is dead. Yeah.
Well, and it depends what you have your alerts. I had turned those off. But because the self-selecting of what is notification worthy is a whole editorial process, right? That's sort of a new avenue for that. That it didn't feel like an accusation, but it's definitely something that I did where I totally got something wrong. So I'm going to have to watch that. And I guess it does speak to, I'm looking at the news to like get stuff, to find things, right?
Yes.
And part of that makes me feel more connected. Like this week didn't feel overwhelming. I felt plugged in and like aware. Mm-hmm. And there are things in the news I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is cool. I'm glad I feel like I'm looking into past that sort of upper crust of the shared AP headlines that are like the 7 headlines.
Yes, and I think it also, some news articles came into my feed and I was like, I knew about that because I wrote about it last week. The locusts thing, which is now national news, but was like slightly harder to Google 2 weeks ago. Like we were singing or versing about that.
We do not perform the song. We do not perform the song. We investigate the structure of the song.
That was a fair use disclaimer. But the other piece of this in relation to the news is that I think we are very good at treating the news the way Twitter treats news, which is both as the news itself, but also fodder for a meme, fodder for a poem. Like, how many times have you quote tweeted something with a better pun for the headline or a song, that satisfies it, or like a take? It's like, that is I feel like I'm doing Twitter brain when I try to pull news stories, because I scan the headline, scan the lead, and I'm like, I know what this is,
I know how I can synthesize this into ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. So, let's zipper these first 4 verses together, and then we're doing something different with the 5th verse where we kind of pre-wrote some pieces and we'll kind of arrange them. So, let's just do it.
Mookie Betts, Baby Nut, Brian Wilson's boycott, Doomsday Glacier Mansion censure, Iran audio, Kansas City, not KS, Limbaugh diagnosis, Kyrgyzstan and travel ban, war bomb in Soho. Domino's engagement ring, Super Bowl Zahuta thing, Kenyan Stampede, Thunbird Peace Prize nominee, California Greyhound bus, Iowa chaos, Mendez film gets BAFTA sweep, masks from the Holy See.
Shadow app acronym, Mayor Pete declares a win, Amy rise, Biden drops 62%. Final case to impeach, Trump delivers state speech, Pelosi rips, Ryan dips, AOC never went. Freedom Medal pageantry, dust jacket diversity, Syrian escalation, YouTube checking information. Homeless students reach new high. Jaw and Curry Twitter fight. Coronavirus overtake another Puerto Rico quake.
Great. Okay. Madoff dying, Douglas dead, Katy Perry, I'm with Fred, Bolton gets subpoena threat, Mississippi prison deaths, Mitt Romney says he will, Nikki Shades, Meek Mill, Iowa results a mess, sell your dog to pay your debts. Pegasus, so too, Penguin slang lasso to, Nancy Rip Pompeo, President meets Guaido, anti-gay, Tennessee, DNC toxicity, Trump is told he's free to go, fungus in Chernobyl.
Prayer breakfast revenge speech, New York City broker fees Zimbabwe miners trapped in shaft, Prada's racist window flap. Bernie claims the Hawkeye state in space till day 238. El Salvador denies asylum. Dr. Lee tried to warn him. Jamila comes out right in time. Rustin March was not a crime. Global entry snatched away. What else do I have to say?
Wow, great.
Okay, that gets us through Thursday.
I love global entry snatched away. That's like a good example of the rhyme scheme taking precedent over like a straight news recap, but it's still being the correct way to do it.
Because it was such a action. It's like a revenge action.
Yes.
I feel like that. Okay, so we're gonna do a quicker version than usual than in previous of our putting together number 5, and then we will share our verse number 5 and wrap up this week.
Great.
Okay, here's verse 5 for week 5. Wrapping up the weekend. Trump tan, Dem debate, no more Netflix autoplay, Snow Moon Night, Marching Whites, Border Wall on Sacred Site, Fonda pause, Portman dress, Bong Joon-ho is all of us, Joaquin vegan milk promoter, lying dogface pony soldier, XFL, Aussie rain, Kazakhstan sees dozen slain, airport TikTok earns reproach, pachyderms may now be poached, transatlantic speed defeated, mom spaghetti gets reheated, Kentucky weather's downpour, I can't take it anymore. There it is.
That's week 5, baby.
That's the week 5. Thank you for joining us for Week Didn't Start. This felt like a good one. I feel like this is how these should go.
This is the dream.
Yeah. We gotta figure out verse 5, how to make that.
I think the 3-3-2 would be good.
Yeah, we can pre-write a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe we just pre-write and visit the doc and see how it's going.
Yeah, cool. Let's do that.
Okay. Maybe we should have a nice clap point for every episode.
And then I'll know when to end it. Okay, so next week's going to be via phone because you will be in another nation.
Looking forward to the bad reception.
All right, I will talk to you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.